Business with a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Inspiration, motivation takes. Listen to the podcast. We're all about to talk about life. Our guests will share their life story. We want you to success in life and business. We're ready and we will start shortly. We're gonna talk about life. We're going to speak on business. You're gonna shine bright. We are going to witness. Business with a servant's heart. With hosts Steve, Ramona, and Ray. Inspiration, education talks. Listen to the podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast. I'm your host, Steve Ramona. I am so thrilled to have you join us today. This podcast is dedicated to exploring the idea of doing business and living life with a purpose, serving others, and yes, achieving success. We believe that when we approach our work and our lives with a servant's heart, we can truly make a difference. We created this show for you because we want everyone to be motivated, inspired, and educated to make an impact in your world. Whether you're an entrepreneur, community leader, someone making millions of dollars a year, or simply someone looking to bring more purpose into your daily life, this podcast is here to support you. We're going to talk about appreciation today and much more. It's going to be a powerful show, so you want to sit back and enjoy it. But while you're enjoying this incredible guest, I want you to think about how you're going to serve today and what impact you'll create with that service today. Today's episode is proudly sponsored by our phenomenal partner, Pantheon Alliance. Imagine being part of an exclusive community of high-income, successful business owners and entrepreneurs from diverse industries. Together, they're building a powerful referral marketplace and unlocking educational opportunities. It's an amazing chance to grow your network and take your business to the next level. If you have any questions at all, please reach out and I'll get you the information. With that being said, as I said, my guest is all about appreciation and gratitude. We don't have enough of this in this world, especially in our workplace. And she's going to talk to you how she builds that and grows that within a company. Alicia, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, Steve. I'm so pleased to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
You're very welcome. What's the significance of authentic appreciation in a workplace?
Well, authentic appreciation is a 365 way to gather and bolster and foster appreciation on your front line, as well as your team managers and leadership in the work environment. It's designed to create a participatory work culture at all levels.
What does leadership mean to you?
Leadership means that we are in a place where people look up to us and we serve them with putting others before our needs.
Very good. What is the elephant in the room with every business is the KPI and the ROI. What can a business owner who's listening or founder or entrepreneur see as a KPI or ROI with authentic appreciation in the workplace?
I like to call it productivity with a smile. We all, as leadership, we all want to measure productivity, but how many of us can say that we get productivity with a smile from our frontline and otherwise staff?
How do we help people smile?
By showing them appreciation. Appreciation is a communication to your staff, no matter what level they are, and speaking that appreciation. There's 5 manners in which we do that. According to the 5 languages of appreciation in the workplace, which is a book by Dr. Gary Chapman and Dr. Paul White that talks about methods for communicating appreciation generally in the workplace. Everyone has a primary and a secondary language, and those languages help to make a person feel valued and appreciated in the job that they're doing for the organization. Organizations do measure productivity, but to measure productivity with appreciation, you have more cooperation, more what's the word I'm looking for? Looking for is it's a method of just saying that you're valuable and you're welcomed in this organization. We appreciate you.
What's the company look like when they've developed this, that you educate, the smiles, the appreciation, the gratitude? Give me a picture with that, or image of what that company looks like now.
Well, a company that uses authentic appreciation in the workplace, it will have less, will have more cooperation, meaning that people will show up to work. There'll be less calling. There will be less turnover. There will be more participation. There will be more communication and cooperation in that communication, so that team leaders and frontline workers can have a better relationship in the workplace. Now, going back to the 5 languages of appreciation in the workplace, there are 5 manners in which we can show genuine, authentic appreciation. The first one is words of affirmation. The second one is quality time. The third one is acts of service. The fourth one is tangible gifts. And in the last one, which does have cautionary engagement, is physical touch, which in the workplace is limited to handshakes, fist bumps, high fives, and pat on the backs. And those are the 5 methods in which we show appreciation, communicate appreciation, authentic appreciation to the staff.
Was the inspiration to do this type of coaching was very unique and pretty awesome. Was the book by Gary Chapman?
Yes, Dr. Gary Chapman and Dr. Paul White wrote the 5 languages of appreciation in the workplace. I want to say 5 love languages because that's the precursor.
Yeah,
that's the precursor to the 5 languages of appreciation in the workplace. Here's the difference. The 5 love languages is there to personable relationships, dating, marriage, of such. And the 5 languages of appreciation is corporate focused. And how it came about is that executives who were the 5 love languages asked Dr. Gary Chapman to write a book that would address corporate issues, corporate inter-workplace relationship issues. And so the 5 languages of appreciation in the workplace was written by Dr. Gary Chapman and Dr. Paul White. And the both books address interpersonal relationships. One is corporate and one is personal.
Do you need all 5 of those to be a successful company?
Well, yes. Reason why is because not everyone receives appreciation in the workplace. Would you agree with me on that?
Yep, I do.
Okay, so knowing and how we get to know this is through the managing by appreciation inventory assessment, knowing what a person's primary and secondary appreciation language is highly important to know this, because you want to communicate their language to them and build up the relationship, especially in the workplace.
What's the financial gain for less turnover?
Oh, the turnover is very expensive. So the more we can have a support system in the workplace, i.e. authentic appreciation in the workplace, we will be saving a lot of money in the long run. It's the stats right now say that 79% of people who leave their jobs don't leave because of finances. They leave because they don't feel valued, appreciated. They feel that what they're contributing to the organization doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's a bad threat. It's worse and worse, especially with COVID and all that. What would you tell a business owner why they should hire you?
Well, if a business owner is tired of losing their talents, getting negative customer survey satisfaction reports, getting just basically having people call out and not show up for work, having customers who feel they're not being paid attention to. If you have any of those above, then I'm the person to call.
What are your goals for your company?
My goal for Make a Difference Consulting is to serve as many organizations that feel that the above reasons that their organization may not be what they want it to be, to help these organizations achieve better satisfaction reports, have more of a cohesive contribution to their organization through their staff, and basically have productivity with a smile.
Yeah, smiles are important. Smiles always make people feel better. You walk up to somebody with a smile, it's much better when they're frowning. We're talking mindset here. How much do you work on the mindset of the, top level executives and the employees?
Well, with the mindset, it's something that if you can accept authentic appreciation and you're willing to convey it to your staff, that mindset will be a wholesome mindset.
That's important. And that's good. So you'll develop that because obviously you walk in, there's not appreciation in the culture. You come in and develop that mindset. That's what they need to work. That's their skill set they need to work on.
Yes. Verbiage is important when you're communicating to your staff. And if you're showing authentic appreciation, the language will be positive, it will be helpful, it will be upbuilding. And most of the time, that's what staff wants to hear, that positivity, so they can accomplish what they're there to accomplish.
What would you tell an employee that reached out to you and says, I'm not being appreciated in my workplace?
I would say, let's have a talk. Definitely.
What would that discussion look like?
That discussion would look like, one, can be helping them to see their role in the organization and how valuable you are to the organization. We wouldn't be putting blame on any entity or any person, but observing the relationship that they have with the managers, with their colleagues, and taking positive steps to correct it or to actually help them see things in a better light.
Yeah, positivity is good. Mm-hmm. So, an employee, whether it's a high level or employee, wants to leave because there's no appreciation. Is that good?
No, that's contributors to turnover.
Okay. But let's think on the employee side. They've been there 10 years, let's just use an example. And they just, the last 2 years, they haven't felt appreciated. They've talked to their upper management, they've talked to the owner, they've talked to everybody they can. It's just not changing.
Well, I can help through EAP, employment assistance programs, and ultimately the responsibility would be on the organization to help them have a better relationship with the key people that they have to answer to. I want to say that it's not anyone's fault. It's just a communication issue, and authentic appreciation in the workplace. It helps them to look at things in a better light. Recently, I wrote an article on neuroleadership, neuromanagement, and authentic appreciation. And if there is a manager or a business owner who's listening, I would love to share it with them, because it's a way to use the brain to train leadership to how to help a person who's frustrated in their job with them. If you can look at it in a way that, look at the relationship in a way that is going to help them feel appreciated and valued, it's going to turn things around.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you. That's a great share you just gave us for the audience. Tell us a story of a company you worked with and the change you made with the company with appreciation.
Personally, I would have to borrow from Dr. Paul White. He worked on several main Fortune 500 companies, and the best way to help organization is to ask key people, how do you perceive you're being appreciated in your work, in your job? If they can answer affirmatively, from one, a scale of 1 to 10, if they can give you a 8 and above, things are very good. If they're 8 and under, then there's work to be done, and we can achieve that turnaround for them.
So I like that you use assessments to gauge where the company's at and see which direction you need to go to build the appreciation, build the gratitude and the culture of the business. You mentioned before the show, Power to Forgive. Talk about that.
It's an article that actually, an anthology that I'm in. My story specifically is called The Power to Forgive. And I am a believer in Christ, so I'm going to go this way with it. There's certain weapons that are not human weapons that God has given us, has armed us with strength to forgive others in any environment. For me, I went through a time in my early teenage years where somebody had done something wrong to me, and as an adult, I learned the value of being able to forgive them and let the situation go, so I can be healed, and I can observe that person in a better light. I mean, that person has never come to me and said sorry, but it was my mindset that had the impact. And because I have a better way of looking at things through love and through forgiveness, I'm a better person today.
Forgiveness is a big part of companies as well for appreciation.
Yes, absolutely.
And how do you work that into your consulting?
I'm sorry, repeat the question.
So how do you bring in forgiveness with companies? It's different than appreciation. They're together, but how do you consult or coach the forgiveness piece of it?
Well, I would always say to a person, yes, something has happened. Yes, we feel negative about it, but don't hold on to it. That's where we go wrong, when we hold on to it. Let it go. If whether or not you believe in God, God is there and he can make things turn around in your favor.
We're getting to the end of the show here. This has been fantastic. I'm much more appreciative right now. My gratitude level is up, and I'm sure, audience, your gratitude level has jumped up because, we all know it, but we're not told it enough and not coached it enough of how to do that. I've got a great fun question to learn a little bit more about you. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, you're going into a restaurant. There's a table of 4. You occupy one of the seats, so the other 3 seats are empty. Who would you invite, dead or alive, and why? And what food would you order?
Oh, that's a great question. I love it. Okay, so who I would invite? I would invite Jesus. I would invite Denzel Washington and his family, if possible.
Sure.
And I would invite my mom.
Jesus, Denzel Washington, your mom. What an eclectic group. Great group. That's why I love this question. And by the way, you could bring Denzel's family. We could bring more chairs in. There's more chairs to do that. To me, the most important question is, what food would you order?
Caribbean. I was born in Trinidad and Tobago on the Caribbean islands, and so I would want pilau, sauce, curry chicken, and some shark, some curry shark.
I love it. I just got my first curry chicken a few months ago. I'm a new fan favorite. I'm a fan favorite. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Now I'm getting hungry. I want to thank, this has been great. I know people are listening going, I want more appreciation in my company. How can they find you, Alicia?
I can be reached at 401-601-3207, or my website is www.makeadifferenceconsulting.com.
Piece of cake. Well, Alicia, thank you so much. You're a blessing. God bless the work that you're doing. You're changing lives.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate you.
You're very welcome. Don't forget my TV show, Together We Serve, every Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Also, too, me and Alicia, thank you so much for watching and listening to this podcast. We really, truly, speaking about appreciation, appreciate you watching and, as I said, listening if you're listening on the podcast. And we will see you all in the next episode of Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. Have a great day, everyone.